הכיסא שלו ליאור.
דווקא עכשיו אני שר לערפל שממיס את הקצוות, מרכך ומעגל ומרחיק ממני את מה שמתנפל. כן, דווקא עכשיו אני שר לערפל, דווקא עכשיו לתמונות הפשוטות אני שר. כביסה מתייבשת בשמש, איש רואה פרפר, זוג על אופניים, יונים יורדות על כיכר. עכשיו לתמונות הפשוטות אני שר. מה יקרה עוד רגע? מה יהיה מחר? אני שומר על היקרים לי ועושה מה שאפשר. כבר לא רוצה להיות צודק, לא גיבור, לא מיותר. ודווקא עכשיו דווקא עכשיו אני שר לאנשים שנתנו בלי לבייש אותי בימים קשים, כשהייתי כלב דרוס, כשנפלתי לקרשים. כן, דווקא עכשיו אני שר לאנשים, אני שר למי שעצוב ולמי שזוכר את הקסם שמצחיק ילדים ותולה להם את הירח במרפסת, שהופך אפר למוזיקה ומגשים את הגשם למי שעצוב ולמי שזוכר את הקסם. מה יקרה עוד רגע? מה יהיה מחר? אני שומר על היקרים לי ועושה מה שאפשר. כבר לא רוצה להיות צודק, לא גיבור, לא מיותר. ודווקא עכשיו אני שר. למען בריסו אשר שם בבשרנו, ברוך אתה אדוני קורא סביר.
Amen. Great grandfather news things. Mechubit.
מה יקרה עוד רגע? מה יהיה מחר? אני שומר על היקרים לי ועושה מה שאפשר. כבר לא רוצה להיות צודק, לא גיבור.
אלוהינו ולארצנו, חיינו הילד הזה להיות בבלימו, ויקרא שמו בישראל. יצחק ברל בן שחר יאיר הכהן. ישמחו ביוצא חלצו וסוגל עמו בפריד בנו. הכסוף ישמחו בחבימך וסוגל יולדתך ונאמר ואעבוד עלייך וערך תספוססס בדומייך. בדומייך חיים ואומר לך בדומייך חיים. ונאמר זוכה לי על בריסי דובר ציוו לי אלכתור אשר קורסס אברהם אשור סוליט לי ישחק ויעמידה לי יעקב לחוק לישראל בריס העולם. ונאמר ויאמר לאברהם את יצחק בנו בן 18 ימים אשר ציוו אותו אלוהים.
הודו לאדוני כי
יצחק ברל בן שחר יאיר הכהן. הודו כי טוב כי בעולם חזור. זה הקטון גדול יהיה כשם שנכנס לבריס כן ייכנס לסוד ולחוקו מעשים טובים.
We are pleased to introduce into this world Yitzhak Beryl, in English, Jordan Bailey. Before I begin, we'd like to thank the friends and family who came from near and far to be here. Grandma Roz, Grandpa Charlie, and Aunt Alice from New Jersey, Shira, David, and Aryeh, Michael, Adina, and soon-to-be family Simon. Our parents and parents-in-law, see how that works out. You've given us stellar examples of how to be great parents ourselves. If only we could remember everything you taught us when it's 3 a.m. and Jordan is crying. Illy and Lauren, also thank you so much for driving down from New Jersey. One great perk about moving here is that we're so close to family. We're grateful that we get to spend time with Aunt Penny, Jason, Daniel, and Josh, and that we can hop on over to Potomac and have a nice evening with Aunt Valerie, Uncle Eric, Seth, and Dixie. One thing that has continually shocked and delighted us since moving here has been the abundance of warm hospitality we've received in Kent Mill from day one. Thank you so much to the Sanders, the Rubens, the Lawrences, and our neighbors on Off Lane and the community at large for being so generous. And of course, we'd like to acknowledge our family who can't be here. Mima and Papa, Grandma Sylvia, Zach, Kim, Yoni, and Leor, Jason and Sharon, and Ethan and Neely, Uncle Jerry, Aunt Migsy, Auntie Roberta, Uncle Paul and Aunt Randy in Southern California, Auntie Sharon and Uncle Kenny in Jerusalem, and all the cousins, tons and tons of cousins. We'd be here for 2 hours if I was going to go through that. And finally, Jordan joins his 2 new, fresh out of the oven cousins, Ami and Sarah. We really hope that he'll meet them soon. Yitzhak Beryl is named after two of Jordan's great-grandfathers that have some striking similarities. Irving Yitzhak Eisenberg, my grandfather, was born in 1910 in Pinsk, Belarus, and grew up in Chicago. He was an accountant with a very subdued and easygoing personality, but very strong in his dedication to Judaism. During the Depression, when people were literally living hand to mouth, he was offered jobs that he had to turn down because he would have to work on Shabbos. This combination of personality traits made him a perfect match for Jordan's great-grandma Nettie, whose vivacious and infectious personality knew no equal. Also, he was so sharp with numbers that he would check my father's math homework by quickly scanning down the pages and pointing out each error, which incidentally was how he did his work in a time before computers and calculators. He was a constant presence in my childhood, quietly participating in Shabbos meals, birthdays, and other smachot, with a warm smile and a quiet remark. Bertram Beryl Eisenstein was born in 1923 in New York. He worked also as an accountant in the federal government and was part of the Armed Services Procurement Regulations Committee, which created the rules for government contracting that are still in use today. He was very easygoing, family-oriented, and conscientious of other people's thoughts and feelings. He was extremely dedicated to his wife and family, and even in high-pressure times, he wouldn't raise his voice or get upset. His passion was chess, from the time he was high school chess captain to president of the chess league in his synagogue. He would often be found teaching his grandchildren chess. He was also very organized and meticulous. When he was involved in real estate dealings, he would always be put in charge of the financing. That's how well he was trusted and how good he was with numbers. Grandpa Bernie exemplified Rabbi Hillel's most famous teaching, which is also the source of the modern-day Golden Rule. When asked to recite the entire Torah on one foot, Rabbi Hillel responded, "Ahavta re'echa kamocha," treat others as you would treat yourself. And Grandpa Bernie exemplified that to a T. Alana has fond memories of Grandpa Bernie, as she and her siblings would get very excited when he and Grandma Sylvia would come into town and babysit them. We feel blessed that we were able to spend his last year with him in South Florida. And before he passed away a few months ago, he was really delighted to hear the news that Alana was expecting. The name Jordan was a runner-up name that my parents never had a chance to use. if only my younger sister Kim was a boy. The Jordan River is mentioned at the end of this week's Torah portion and is a central focus of both ancient and modern Israeli history. If you visit the Jordan River today, you might not be impressed by its appearance, but only a deeper knowledge of its history and function would reveal how integral the river is to sustain all the people who live in Israel and its neighbors. Our wishes in naming our son is that he should inherit some of those exemplary personality traits of his great-grandfathers and, just like the Jordan River, contribute to the growth and vibrancy of his nation and the people around him. Thank you.